Everything looks so concrete when you're walking out on the street.
Welcome back to Hannity. It's the movie Women All Over are talking about 50 Shades of Grey, based on the notably steamy book that took suburbia by storm a few years ago. One of my next guests says the blockbuster film sends the wrong message to women, though. Joining us now to explain what she means, the president of Live Action, Lila Rose, and here with us in studio is clinical psychologist Dr. Victoria Wilson. We're glad to see you both. First to you, Lila, why do you say that this movie, based on a book that was written, as far as I can tell, so I read the book, it was targeted exclusively to women? Like, I don't think I'm the only man who ever read this book. Why is this bad for women? It's for women, written by a woman. How can it be bad for women?
I mean, it's bad for a number of reasons. First of all, this is a story about domestic abuse, about the sexual violence and the manipulation and domination of a young girl by a man who was abused himself and then went on to become an abuser. And it's glamorized, it's romanticized, and it's sold in a nice suit by a multimillionaire guy who's going to sweep her off her feet. And women are watching this and consuming it. And many people today, and it's a problem all across our country, are facing domestic abuse in their own homes. We have a crisis of sexual abuse on our universities, on our college campuses, and yet we're flocking on Valentine's weekend to celebrate the romanticization of abuse. And that's the problem with this film, along with the fact that it promotes depictions of violent pornography.
Well, I tend to agree with you. I thought it was creepy as hell and stupid. But women loved it, Dr. Wilson.
I'm glad to hear that, Tucker.
No, I did. I found it totally unappealing. There was nothing in there I had any interest in, and I mean that.
But hold on. Young girls are being marketed it.
Okay, but adult women, the ones in my neighborhood, the 40-year-old ones with kids who have college degrees and are smart, they chose to buy it, and they loved it. And so why is that, Dr. Wilson? Why would women like something like this?
Well, first of all the movie does is really normalize a very common female sexual fantasy, dominance and submission. And both men and women exhibit that fantasy all the time. In terms of women, it actually deprives them of the shame and guilt that most women feel when they realize they have that fantasy. So in that way, the movie is actually a positive message because it allows women to normalize their feelings. It's a very common...
So they want to be dominated, but they feel guilty about that.
No.
It is just a fantasy.
Dr. Wilson, women do not want to be dominated. We want to see leadership.
Well, no, that is not true.
There's a difference between sexual abuse and the domination that comes with it. This is not a movie about
sexual abuse. These are two consenting adults engaging in a fantasy. She can walk away at any time.
Okay, one at a time here. So, but it does raise an interesting question, Lila, about consent. And if if adult women find this appealing, I don't get it. And you clearly find that embarrassing, but, I mean, can we say that they shouldn't find it appealing? I mean, who knows what the heart wants?
Well, here's the thing, Tucker. I mean, my heart goes out to women all across our country because women want to be pursued. They want to be admired, desired, absolutely. But the way that we're being marketed this by a glitzy Hollywood film and a multi-million-dollar industry which is making money off of these books in this film is in a sadomasochistic, violent, manipulative way. And that's what's extremely disturbing about this film and about this whole industry built around promoting violent sex and domination as somehow something that women want. I mean, the whole cry of the rapist is that women want it. The whole cry of the Vanderbilt University or UVA is that, well, she wanted it, she had it coming.
Right. No, I get it, but I just can't.
That's being promoted is what we need to stand against.
Right. And I'm with you. I found it unattractive and creepy and inexplicable, really. But Doctor,
I don't see this movie being any different from Basic Instinct or from millions of romance novels.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. This is only for women. No men read the book. It wasn't for men.
So
it was written by
9.5 weeks. I mean, there's been plenty of movies and books out there that cater to various alternative sexual practices. This movie is no different.
The problem is groups like...
All right, we got 30 seconds.
The problem is young girls are being targeted by this. IMDb, the highest ratings for this movie came from girls under the age of 18. Groups like Planned Parenthood are promoting BDSM and violent sexual practices to teenagers. Ooh. You can say you're a 40-year-old woman and it's all about your choices, but this is our culture and we have to protect our young girls and teach respect to men.
Well, I think
I'm still, unfortunately, out of time. I'm still confused. as to what women want, but I want to
And why
thank you
it's
both
marketed
for
to
trying
young
to.
women,
We
I
want
don't know. I think
respect
it's
and
for
leadership.
it's for consenting
Gotta go.
adults.
Thanks, doctor. Coming up, more Hannity
And
right after the
true-
break.